Hello everybody. We are here. We are here. I'm gonna go ahead and share this. How's everybody doing on this fine Monday night? Dun. Sharing from my laptop instead of my iPad, and it's a little different. A little different and a lot slower. I also kind of have a feeling I didn't just share that as the... Let's see. Say hi as you hop on, guys. We are going to do something pretty cool tonight. It's going to be pretty quick as far as a transfer goes, but oops, maybe the wrong way. Here, I forgot I've got this turned backwards. So I'm also going to show you how I am making this a little bit different. So I've got this little pail thing. I don't even know if you'd call it a pail, like a box. And I got this from the Easter section in Walmart when they were having like all of their stuff on clearance. So they actually used to be like these spring kind of colors. But I got the rest of the ones that they had because I wasn't sure what I was going to do with them, and I really didn't decide until yesterday, I think. Inspiration struck. So, because at first I was thinking like they'd be a cute little caddy for something, but the way that the bar is and the size of it, I was like, it doesn't really fit anything. Like, you can't make it like a picnic caddy because like salt and pepper won't even fit in there, right? But like condiments, nothing like that would. So I was trying to figure out what exactly I wanted to use them for. So let me show you. Oh, I moved it over here. So this is the one that I was working on earlier today. I'm going to use them for flower arrangements, which is a little bit outside of my comfort zone. I have not really done arrangements before. Not like this, really. But this is a cute little Halloween one that I pulled together today. And then the back, I just added some fabric so that you couldn't see all of the stuff from the back. But I'm pretty pleased with it. So this one is a Halloween one, obviously. But I'm planning on making like some Christmas ones. I've got one that I've already painted red over here that I am planning on doing a Christmas thing with. And then this one, I am planning on making a like Thanksgiving fall kind of situation. So for that, I wanted it to kind of look a little bit more like wood. So I started it earlier today, but I left, which you can see, like everything's got kind of the little bits of distressing on it, except for this side. I figured I would leave this so that I could kind of walk you guys through it and show you, because the actual transfer part is going to be so quick tonight. So it's just going to be a little bit different. So we went to a new pizza place in town tonight, and it wasn't like super new. It's new in our town, but there's one in a town like 30 minutes from us. It's called Sunny's, and it is good. Oh my goodness, I love it. If you're local and you've been, you have to let me know what you think of it. They've got like a special where you can get like 2 slices of pizza, and they've got like all different kinds of flavors that you can get, and I love. If anybody likes white pizza, I'm not normally a fan of it, but their white garlicky, oh, it's so good. So good. So just say hi as you're hopping on, you guys. All right, got everything done there that I want to now. All right, so a little bit of a rundown of what I did with this to start with. So I just used for the other ones that I've been painting, and in case if you missed it, this used to be like either this or a lime green. They're from the Easter section at Walmart, and I just saw potential, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do with it. So I've been painting them because I've got this one here that's black that I've already done a little arrangement in, and then there's one that is going to be a Christmas one that I did in red. I used the chalk paint for them. Whale, my little self, did not realize that I had a dark brown color in the chalk paint, so I just used like an acrylic paint. I'd have to get up to get it. It's like over there, but it was just, I think it's called nutmeg brown or something. Nothing super fancy, just this kind of medium color brown. I'm really wishing I saw this one because it took me like 3 or 4 coats of this, whereas with the chalk paint, it took one with like a little bit of touch-ups here or there. So I just painted that on with a normal paintbrush, and then what I did was I took this color, Mineral. This is like my favorite color of these paints. And I just took a chip brush and just did like a dry brush on it. So what that means, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, you kind of just try and keep the brush as dry as you can as you're painting it. Like obviously the paint is wet, but you don't keep it, like I don't dip the whole brush, like, so that is what I just dipped, and you can see that, oops, I've got this backwards. You've got that glob on there. I'm gonna kind of scrape that off. So I want to do kind of like a neutral pumpkin, kind of a, I'm not really gonna do like browns and stuff on here with this arrangement. I'm gonna do kind of just like a lot of like a white pumpkin, and then maybe like some blue pumpkins, which sounds weird, but I've seen it before for like different decorative stuff, like and I guess really in real pumpkins, those like squatty ones, and they're super, super cute. So I'm kind of going with like a grays, whites, and like sort of like a light teal kind of color scheme here. So for the words on this, as I'm going to show you how to do this technique in just a second. But for those of you that are on here, this is the transfer I'm going to use. This is a new one, but it was all together and easier to show you guys. So it's either going to be, this one says gather here with grateful hearts, which I might just use gather. I might not use the grateful hearts thing. And this one says ever thankful for you, and then give thanks. Any of these would fit on here. I kind of want to do it sort of like to one side. This is backwards, so I'm like pointing it the wrong direction. I kind of want to have it like on just one side rather than centered, but I haven't 100% committed to that. But if you see one that you think would, hold on, wait, I think okay. If you have an opinion on which one you think would look the best, the gather, thankful, or give thanks, let me know. Go ahead and say it in the comments while we do this, and then I will grab that one. So what I'm going to do for this is, so I've already got my paint on there. I'm going to scrape it again just because I want it to look more like that. Just not super wet. And you just kind of like with a really light hand sort of start going back and forth on here. So I'm going to have to reload my paintbrush, but you can see kind of the idea here. So at first I was thinking I was just going to stop with this kind of grayish color, but I think I'm also going to layer it up with some white too. So this isn't going to look, it's not going to look exactly like wood, but it's going to give that effect for what I want it to. So it's not a super, super in detail thing. Like I'm not drawing planks on this or anything like that. I just kind of wanted it to have a little bit more of that sort of a wood-like texture. So that, it's funny because like when I hold it up, like this side doesn't look like it's got, like it looks like it's got some bald spots, if that makes sense. But then when I look at it in real life, you can see more there. Hey, Lauren. So I'm going to stop with that one. I already went through and did the inside. I didn't do the very bottom because I'm going to have foam down there, but I already did kind of the other spots. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it with a little bit of white. And then I think I'm going to try a little bit of this dark brown on it too. I'm going to kind of see how it looks. Did I grab my weight? Yep, there it is. All right, so the white color that I'm going to use for this is Plaster. I really like this color. It kind of looks like it's sort of really creamy, like more yellow toned, but I've found that it's a nice brighter white without being super, super white. Does that make sense? Like it doesn't, this is the color that I use for the background for all of my signs. I found that so again, just getting it barely on the bristles and then scraping it so it's even less to do this dry brush. And then just very light hand going across. This is just going to add a little bit more dimension, make it look a little bit more weathered. I'm like barely touching it in the paint when I go in to get it. But yeah, this white is really good. Like I have like a smaller size of the just regular plain white. And the couple of times that I've used it, I've not been a fan. It just looks very, very harsh. Whereas this Plaster color, it doesn't dry like a yellowy off-white. Like it looks really, really good. So it's kind of my go-to look. I am very happy with how this looks. I'm glad I decided to add some of this in here. So how's everybody's Monday been? Steve was off today, so it didn't really feel quite like a Monday. He goes back to work tomorrow. So it still kind of felt like the weekend a little bit, which was kind of nice. Drew kind of hung out with him for a lot of the day, and I was able to work on a couple of different projects that are a little bit harder to do with Drew in tow. And then we got dinner together and swam in the pool for a bit. So my hair's still kind of wet. There's like all of these things that keep popping up on here. All right, so this is a side has gotten the white. That side has. That side has. This one has not. So see how like it just adds a lot more dimension with the other colors. So I'm thinking I'm gonna like doing it with the dark brown color too, because I want to use white as the color for my letters. So go ahead and scrape that off again. And what's kind of nice about this is that, I mean, the paint is pretty dry. Like I'm able to kind of move this little thing around how I want to be able to like get into all of the different spaces that I need to. So that is definitely a plus. And you can't, I mean, really you kind of can't mess this up, which I can appreciate. Because even if you got like a bigger glob, I did that earlier, there was more paint on my brush than I realized, and I kind of globbed it on there in a certain spot, and it just kind of scraped the paint, kept working with it, and moved on from it, and it still looks good. Like when I came back to it, I don't even remember where that spot was. So all right, let me get the handlebar. So for the handle, I was trying to go lengthwise, because that is one thing too, is when you do something like this, if you're trying to get that wood look, you want to make it go kind of like with the grain. Now these, I mean, these are little wooden boxes, but they're like they were painted. It's not like a super obvious wood grain, but you could tell that like on the side pieces it was like this, on these pieces it was like that. So just kind of following along with that helps make it look a little bit more realistic. So this obviously isn't going to look like a freshly pulled from the tree kind of wood, but I am liking how it is working. Oh, you know what? This edge is one of the places where I got too much gray because I couldn't see any of the brown. But after adding this, you can't even really tell. All right. So, let's see. I'm not getting any votes for which transfer, but I am kind of leaning more towards the, I'm kind of leaning more towards Give Thanks, but at the same time, I also really like the idea of Gather. Hey, Amanda, give me your opinion. So, I'm doing this little box thing, and I'm going to make it an arrangement, not exactly like this because this is a Halloween one, but like that, in a little box because this is the same thing, it's just black. So it's going to be like a neutral kind of Thanksgiving fall kind of thing. So should I do Gather with or without the Here with Grateful Hearts, Give Thanks, or Thankful? I'm really leaning between Give Thanks and Gather. Hey, Ashley. So what do you guys think? Amanda votes Give Thanks. That was my first impression too here. But let me know. Because I do like the idea of doing Gather and then it's not as like holiday based, but at the same time, it kind of is. Kind of, sort of. So for this, you like the Thankful? You're not helping, Amanda. Come on. So for this, what I've been doing, this thing, so I was sharing that I got these little boxes at Walmart at the end of Easter. So it's this lime green color and then there's like a light blue too. So that's what this started as. And that's also what the black one for the other one started as. So you guys are voting. We've got one vote for each of them. But I'm trying to make it look a little bit more like wood. So I painted the whole thing like it was called nutmeg brown. It was sort of like a medium brown. And then I did this like grayish taupe color chalk paint in mineral. I did that over it with a dry brush. And then I just did plaster over it with a dry brush. And now I think I'm going to go over it with a little bit of this dark brown. We're going to see how it looks. I think I'm going to test it on the inside first because I don't want it to like make the other colors kind of fade. But I'm just getting a little bit on the ends of my brush. And I washed this after I did, so I did all but one side with the mineral earlier today. And I washed the brush after that, but I'm not even washing it between the paint colors. I'm just kind of adding it on here. Because I want to use white for the letters. So I don't want it to be too white. Yeah, I think we'll stick with this. So I'm just kind of going over everything again. It dries super, super fast. So how have your Mondays been, guys? I was sharing earlier, we went to Sonny's, the new pizza place in Denton. They've got a place in Easton by Target. And we loved that place. And they just opened one by the Walmart here. And I love it. We did mess up tonight though. We did their 2 pizza slice special instead of they've got large cheese pizzas for $7.99 on Mondays. So we messed up a little bit there. Have you gone to the one in Easton, Amanda? They're really good. All right, so just to give you guys a little bit of an idea. So this is without the brown, and then that's with it. So it's not a huge, huge difference, but it does kind of like fade that white a little bit, which I think is going to be good since I'm painting, or since I'm going to be using white letters. How is the moving coming, Amanda? I don't envy you. I hate packing. Although, does anybody really truly like packing? Exactly. Ugh, says it all. You just noticed that Sunny's was there? There's a Michael's there too, Amanda. Psych, they're not open yet, but I know you know about that. Everything done by Wednesday. Whew. We're still helping you guys on Saturday though, right? Like, are you talking everything? Or like everything but the big stuff? Did I do that side? I think I did. I'm losing track, you guys. I'm losing track. It's obviously not changing it that terribly much if I'm losing track of which side I did. Alright. And then just going around the edges. Do you know when Michael's opens? All right. Let's see here. Decision time, people. Decision time. All right. See, here's another thing. Is in my head, August 3rd. All right. In my head, I was thinking about trying to have it like closer to one corner. But everything is, except for the thankful one. The thankful one is small enough that I think that that one would probably, or thankful would probably look okay. But the other ones would probably need to be centered. Oh. Oh, what camp are they going to? Are they going to the Church of God camp? We were just talking about this the other night. All right. Whichever one I see first in this book, guys, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. So right now, everything is in this book, and you can see it's like sticking out. And I was waiting for today because there's these, Ashley, oh, American Heritage Girls Camp. That's cool. Do they use the Girl Scout camp? Like, where do they do that at? Ashley, that happens on live videos a lot for me. I'm not sure what causes it because I've noticed that too. Like, I'll read something in the comments and it will be what the person's talking about, but they haven't talked about it yet. Like, all right, Give Thanks is the very first one I saw. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. And it's going to be so quick. All right. I think we're going to do it on this side because it's got a nice dark spot in the middle. Let's try and center this up. Nope, that's not centered. I have the worst eye for that, for centering things. Ooh. Camp Pacomath. Okay. All right. All right, let's move this on. So I'm going to use the ink. I still haven't taken the time to really try and fix a lot of my pastes that I had left in my car that got kind of dried out. So I'm going to go ahead and use the ink one. This basically just takes a little bit longer to dry, but since I'm sealing this, I'm not erasing it, so it really doesn't matter. So just getting a little bit of the white. I really kind of prefer the inks, honestly. I just think that they're a little bit, even compared to like a perfectly brand new paste that's not dried out from being left in a hot 100+ degree car for like a week's time. It's a little bit more liquidy, but I just think that it works a lot better. Oh, but I was gonna get a book, so I was gonna get a different book from Amazon for to keep my transfers in, but I was waiting for Prime Day just to see if maybe they went, but they were not anything on there today, and if I haven't ordered them by tomorrow, like I'm one of those people that I always have it kind of like in my head to do it, and then it's not necessarily done immediately. So dun dun. All right, and so then we're gonna have like some neutral pumpkins. I'm gonna use like some lamb's ear in here. I don't even know if that's really what this is, but it's got that kind of fuzz look to it, like that. But I think it's a little bit bigger. But I'm really excited about this one. I think it's gonna be super, super cute. Thanks, you guys. So I will definitely keep you posted on the final arrangement of this. Like I said, these are a little bit more outside of my comfort zone. I don't really know what I'm doing with them. But I am pretty happy with how this one turned out. So, and it's kind of cool because today started with yesterday when I decided that this is what I was going to use them for. I'd started trying to clean up my craft room, and I just discovered all of these things. And so now all of those things are right here next to me on the floor. And they're the things that I've been using, like these feathers. I made a raven's feather wreath, like, I don't know. I think it was even before we moved into this house. So like 7 years ago. And I had plans to make more, but then I didn't. So these little purple feather things have just been kind of hanging out. These pumpkins, I painted them and like added like a fabric thing to them so that they'd be kind of cool and funky looking. But I've had them sitting in my closet for a couple years. I did buy new ribbon. The orange ribbon was left over from a different project, but I got the black ribbon. Like, a lot of this was just stuff that I found, and I was like, ooh, this is good stuff. It struck me with inspiration. So I went to Walmart last night, and I got a handful of things, like some foam and stuff, because I did know that much. I was like, I need some foam to stick in the bottom of these. Oh, that would be cute. Ooh. What do you mean the one in your car? Do I know about the one in your car? I need a little one like that's like on that fabric that you sent me. It was super cute. All right, let me scroll up here. I think I've missed some comments. Lever helps you make sure it's centered. It's just something about it. Like, even after the fact, I can't always necessarily tell that it's not right. And Steve has to be like, do you mean to have it there? Even for like pictures and stuff like that, like, I'm not the greatest with that. Like, my eyeballing it doesn't really work that great. I don't have really good depth perception though, and I blame it on that. I feel like that's part of it. When Michael's opens, I need to just get a job there is really the end all be all. I need a discount, and I need a fund that is like me working there will just be, my paycheck will go back to Michael's. That's how it will work. Hey, Lindsay. It is Prime Day, but I didn't see it on there. I didn't really see anything that I really wanted. I mean, like, there were a couple, like a couple of the things that I've sort of been holding off on getting just to see if they ended up being one of the random things on Prime Day weren't. And then like, I didn't really have anything else. They had like some Melissa and Doug wooden toys that I thought would be really cute, to put aside for gifts for Drew. Cause I really like a lot of their stuff, and, Drew kind of likes that sort of stuff too. Like they had like some wooden play food sets and things that I think that he'd really like. But it was 30% off, which I mean is a decent enough deal, but I feel like they did something similar around Christmas time. So it's not something that I necessarily need. I don't feel like I need to get it right now. The Fire Sticks were on a really good deal, and Instant Pots were on a really good deal. And if you don't have an Instant Pot, get one from Amazon today because it was a really good deal. And I love mine. Oh my goodness, do I love mine. And you know what my favorite thing is about an Instant Pot is that you can cook frozen chicken in it, or like frozen meat. Chicken is really the main one that I do because I always forget to take chicken out, and so I like that I can just cook it in the Instant Pot and it doesn't matter that I forgot to take it out to thaw. I have seen it. Okay, yeah. Remind me, Amanda. Go into Hobby Lobby and do that. Hey, Krista. A box party, what do you mean? Like a thing, like making these? Is that what you mean? That'd be perfect, Amanda. Let's do it. Let's go in and get us some jobs there, because we just, man, it'll fund our habits. Yeah, Lindsay, I'm jealous of you, but at the same time, my wallet is grateful that I am not you, because that would just be too much. Like, I haven't been in, well, no, that's a lie. I went into Michael's last week to pick out paint, and I did not even, I was being very indecisive, so it was taking me forever to find the paint that I wanted anyway, and so Steve was there with me after church, and he was like, why are we still in here? So I didn't even venture to the side where they had all the fall decorations out, but I've been seeing people post pictures, and that would get me in trouble. Fall, I love decorating for fall a million times more than I love decorating for Christmas. So that is like a weak spot for me. But they've got so, like, from what I've seen from people that have been in Michael's and like posting pictures of stuff, oh, it looks so pretty. And like Hobby Lobby, there's some things in there already. I haven't been in since they've started putting out fall stuff, and I already have a list of things that I know that I want to get from there. One thing I was going to see, because I was going to share it with you guys for the Melissa and Doug stuff, is we got Drew a chair for his birthday, and it's like a little leather armchair. It is the cutest thing, and he absolutely adores it. He like sits in it every single day. And I was going to try and share it because like it was really well made, and I felt like it was really well priced, which kind of surprised me because A, it was Melissa and Doug, and B, it was like a nice looking chair. But you know those kinds where it's like the character chairs and they kind of like fold out into beds? Those ones are kind of expensive, and this one was a little bit more than that, but not too much more. I was really surprised at how expensive those character chairs were. So, but the leather kind was sold out. They had like a denim one, and then they've got like that's the same exact shape as the one we got Drew, and then they had a really cute one for little girls that's like it looks like a crown on the back with like tufting. It's adorable. Oh my gosh, Amanda, do it. Do it. But then she's going to see all the things that you want. She's going to want it back. I love my Instant Pot so much. We should go next weekend. What am I missing? Oh, what, to Hobby Lobby or Michael's? That's not a bad idea, Krista, because I'm kind of doing that Wednesday with like cups. Any kind of like a coffee cup or like a wine glass, a tumbler, anything like that you can put a design on. But that's not a bad idea. I saw all of your bags, Lindsay, but you said you were shopping for your wedding, right? With your beautiful teal colors. Ugh. I know, Ashley, but man, if we get a Hobby Lobby any closer than Salisbury, it again is going to be bad news for my wallet. Holy cow. Ugh. Hey, Jamie. I'm not against it, Amanda. Not at all. Let me know a day. Oh, I feel like there's a couple of things that I've been thinking that I want to look for specifically, so I need to start writing them down. Because I always have like a running list in my head of things that I want the next time I go into a store like that, and then I go into the store and I completely forget, and I just look, well, not that I'm against looking at everything, I would do that anyway, but I never end up getting what I went there for. Nice! So you're going to do your own flowers? That's awesome. Are you using flowers for your centerpieces? What are you doing for that? I gotta know. I gotta know all the things. I need to look at, do you have a Pinterest board? I need to go stalk your Pinterest. Ooh, spring stuff was 80% off. They had a lot of stuff that I liked. Amanda, when we go, we've got to head towards Salisbury. We gotta go that way. If any of you guys hopped on right now we're just chatting, which I'm all about. Totally fine with that. So this was the little thing that we made today. And it started out, I keep on, how many times have I showed you guys the different color boxes? And every time I put them down, I toss them, and I keep tossing them further and further away from my chair. Ugh. So they started out looking like this. Dun, dun. Which actually, if we're just gonna be chatting it up, I might start painting another one. So it started out like this. I had this color and then like a light blue color. And I used acrylic paint on the bottom of this just because I didn't know I had a brown chalk paint. So the next one I'm going to use the chalk paint. And it only takes like one layer and then maybe a couple touch-up spots to cover the color with chalk paint. Part of the reason I love chalk paint. It took like a lot more, like 3 or 4 with the acrylic, just the regular acrylic paint. And then I dry brushed with mineral, plaster, and truffle. This was the color I didn't know that I had. And then I put on the Give Thanks thing here. That's fine, Krista. I understand. It's always rough picking dates for those things. But I've got another one towards the end of the month. And I'm thinking, because I've had a couple of other people reach out that they wanted to do it, but they couldn't make it that day. And I'm thinking I'm just going to say, like, since another make and take's going to be happening anyway, if you want to bring your cups, bring your cups. But I'm having fun with these little bins, you guys. So I did the Halloween one, which was kind of fun. There's no actual, like, flowers in that. I just did feathers and, like, some, I don't know what this thing's, what are these things called? I really like these. Berry branches, maybe? I forget what it's called. Hey, Steve. But I had some of these guys in there to add a little bit of lime green. I did these black things here. The little spirals. These were like a natural, like, tan color. And I painted them black, and I used black diamond acrylic. And so it's kind of like shimmery. And then I painted the pumpkin. The pumpkin was like more of like a red color, and then it had like a glitter crackle thing on it. So I kind of covered that up with just a regular chalk paint. And then I've got a red one that I'm going to be doing like a Christmas thing in. But I need to go into the basement and gather some of my foliage, if you will. So I got the white garlicky pizza tonight, and I love that pizza, but it's a lot of garlic, and I need something to get rid of the taste that is still hanging out. TMI. Sorry, guys. Amanda, half the time when I shop, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. So Easter, though, let me tell you, Easter stuff at Walmart, it was like 90% off. I might have gotten it when it was 75. I don't remember. But it was like a quarter for some of this stuff that I got. And I didn't know what I was going to do with these, but I saw potential in them and they were like a quarter, so why not? And because when you're doing like different arrangements and stuff like that, the cost adds up so quickly when it comes to like the flowers and stuff. So I'm happy that I'm able to find a lot of the stuff that I have around that I can put to good use, and then also kind of help keep the cost down for the things that I do have to buy. But I got those. I got these little, I did a couple of them on a live. There was a lemon squeeze, a squeeze of the day, like kind of almost like a wainscoting material. So I got a bunch of those signs and they all had different designs on them, and I was like, I can paint over that. I looked at how they were made and I was like, I can make those not be Elsa and Anna on there. I can make them plain, and that's what I did. I also have some tin buckets that I am gonna try and make something with. I had to be a little bit strategic in what I picked up with those. Still don't know what those are. They're still sitting in the closet. Inspiration did not strike for those. You're gonna have brand new crafting space. We should definitely craft together. All right, so you guys are garlic fans, so you understand. You understand. You know what broke my heart? McDonald's. They had this white cheddar garlic sandwich, and I'd get it with the chicken. You could like pick whatever you wanted. And I was late to the game with it. Somebody suggested it on Facebook here, and I tried it the next time I went. And see how quickly that covers that? You can't see any green through there. The acrylic, that was barely by the fourth coat covering it. Man, I love chalk paint. But what was I saying? Oh, so they had the sandwich and it was really, really, really delicious. And then they got rid of it. I went to order it one day and she was like, can you hold on a second? And then she comes back and she was like, we don't have that anymore. I was like, oh. Restaurants always do that to me, especially Panera. Panera always does that to me. Hey, Brianna. So, again, amazing. I love chalk paint. I love the coverage of it. And I haven't really, like, Annie Sloan is like the real big name with chalk paint. And I have not used any of her paint before. The one that I mainly use is this Waverly stuff. And that really is honestly just because it's available at Walmart and I like the colors. So there's a Walmart in my town. There's not all of these other places, and like everybody and their brother, every other brand seems like they've got some sort of a chalk paint line going, which I'm more than happy about. But this is just the one that's most convenient for me. But I tell you what, it does not lack anything. I mean, I've painted furniture with it. I actually am about ready to paint a chair. Not like a wooden chair, like a fabric chair. I've seen it on Pinterest a few times. And I got these chairs from an online auction, which is like almost like that's becoming a bad thing too. Like I've missed the last couple ones that they posted, and it's probably a good thing because I mean, I got a lot. I got a lot for what I spent. So this one lot that I got was, it was 4 chairs and a little ottoman, and I paid $1.25. So I paid a quarter for all of these things, right? So when I got them, like all of this is online, so you can't, I mean, like there's some times where they have like things where you can go see the items. But I haven't really done that because I have a 2-year-old. So I just kind of go with what I can tell from the pictures. So in the pictures, there are these 2 chairs that I really, really wanted them for. They had a really good shape. I could see recovering them and them being beautiful. And then a couple of other chairs that didn't seem bad. I was like, oh, I'll find a use for them. So purchased them, and then it ended up being that all of these chairs, none of them were like I mean, they all were fabric, but they were like a vinyl fabric. So it was just a weird material. So the ones that I was planning on recovering, I opted to not. I scrubbed them up really, really well, because they had some kind of like a film on them, but I don't know what it was. Like, yeah, Lindsay, Trace Online Auctions. They've got a Facebook page, and that's where I saw them. Like, they had a sponsored post or something, but they've got a website. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. I got a bunch of stuff from this auction that were really, really good. And, so the two chairs, so the two green chairs, one was like a rocker and one was like an armchair. And so they were like the same shape and the same material. So I scrubbed those up really well. And they have gone to camp to get used there. And then Lindsay, Goodwill in Easton had a bunch on an end cap the other day. They weren't exactly the cheapest, but they were super, super pretty, because I started gathering up some of the like brass ones, and then with all the other stuff that I was getting, I was like, I don't have a specific plan for this, so I left them. But they had a bunch of silver ones there too that were really pretty. But yeah, online auctions, definitely, and I'll keep an eye out too for any of the ones that I see. But oh, so one of the chairs, so all the chairs ended up being vinyl. The one is like a seafoam green color, and then it looks almost like, yes, Lindsay, they, so they have a building. Do you know where the Restore was in Denton? And then before that, it used to be a consignment shop, like a housewares kind of consignment shop. And then before that, it's back by Nuttall Lumber. What did it used to be before that? Was it Nuttall Lumber? No. I don't remember. It's on Lincoln Street in Denton. But sometimes, like, one of the times I picked up my stuff from their building, and then another time I picked it up from, like, the house that they had it. The Restore store, is that how you'd say it? It closed few months, maybe last, I don't even remember when. It closed a while ago. But now Trace Auctions is in there, which they've been around for a while. Like, I know that I've heard of them. I just didn't really know about their online stuff. But so this seafoam green chair, it had like, I couldn't tell from the pictures, which honestly, it wasn't one of the chairs I really wanted, so I probably would have gotten it anyway, even if I'd known about these rips. But they use Scotch tape to like tape the little corner where it's ripped. So here's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going to chalk paint this chair and hope that it turns out okay. Because the ones that I've seen have been on actual fabric, so it's more or less kind of, not really dyeing the fabric, but it's like really kind of changing the texture of the fabric. This is going to be okay, so if you're at the post office and then you start heading, you know the road that runs in front of Bullock's? If you were going from Bullock's to the post office, it would be on your left. So kind of in that area, but like a block over, sort of. But I'm going to paint this chair, and then I got a fabric that matches the paint that I'm using. And I'm going to, yes, the one that goes in front of Bullock's is 6th Street, and then Lincoln Street is off of that. I'm probably going to regret painting this handle right this second. But there's, I keep on losing my train of thought. What am I saying to you guys? So I'm going to paint the chair, and then I'm going to use the fabric to cover the seat part, so it'll have like a patterned seat, and then the rest of it will hopefully be solid. The texture is probably going to show through because it's got kind of like a gold, it looks like somebody took like gold paint in like a really thin needled nose bottle and kind of like put it around. I'm gonna have before and after pictures. Like it's gonna be a process. But I think if it turns out how I'm envisioning it, I think it's gonna turn out really pretty. I'm just hoping that it doesn't like, the paint doesn't kind of like scratch or flake off because of the vinyl, but I think because of it being chalk paint that it should be fine. So we shall see. But yeah, there have been a few like paintings that I've tried to get because I want to use the frames and make them into like chalkboards, or like put like a wooden backing into it that I can make like a really cool sign out of, because frames are expensive. And there have been a few that I thought that I could get kind of cheap, but then I got outbid at the very last second. But it's just kind of fun. I like that I can do it online, like online shopping. Before, it was just kind of like fun, but after having a kid, especially now that he goes kind of berserk in places. I need to go yard sailing, Amanda. I keep on like, we went to, our church rented a movie theater in Rehoboth out. So it was 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. So we had to leave here at 8:30. So we were like passing all of these yard sales, and I'm like, man, I need to get yard sailing. Especially like, so Megan is a pro at yard sailing, and she's been getting all of this really great stuff for Rowan, and I'm like, I need to start looking for some of the things that I like want to, that are like, I really want to get like a kid's table, like a not like a desk, like I want it to have more than one seat, but like a little round, I'm envisioning it being round, I guess it doesn't have to be round, but like a little kid-sized table. I have a feeling I'm going to start redoing the playroom soon. I want to downsize immensely, which is probably going to be where I like kind of rotate the toys through, because every time I go to try and like pick out ones that Drew doesn't play with anymore, I'm like, he plays with this, he played with this yesterday, he played with this 2 days ago. So I have not, Lindsay, is it good? What kind of stuff do they have? I need to have a yard sale too. That's another thing. That was like on my, I don't know if you'd really call it add that to a bucket list for the summer, but that was kind of like on my list of things I wanted to do this summer, was have a yard sale and get rid of a bunch of stuff. And I have not done that yet, and I have not even really gone through to like start picking things out. But it is, and like I don't want to get rid of everything, because like we want to have more kids, so I want to have these toys around. But I'm thinking what I'm going to do is get like a couple of bins, like clear bins with lids, and start just kind of rotating, and maybe like once a month, like switch out a bin or something. Because like the smaller stuff I don't mind so much, but like he's got a toy box that we built for him for his first Christmas. And what am I saying? I'm having such brain farts right now. Oh, the toy box. So we've been putting like bigger toys in it. And I don't mind taking my time, Lindsay. I love browsing. It is like my favorite. It's how I shop for everything. It drives Steve insane. It used to drive my mom insane. I can like walk around a store 500,000 times. But that's how you find stuff. That is how you find stuff. Like the other day, oh man, there was this lady in Goodwill, and she was like, you know on Friends, okay, this is a good example. You know on Friends how when Monica and Chandler went on their honeymoon, they kept on getting like outdone by this couple. Like they were always like a few seconds ahead of them, and they kept on getting like all the upgrades and like all of this different kind of stuff. I felt like that was this lady in Goodwill with me. She kept on like, we had a very similar eye for the different kind of things we were looking for. Like I'm looking in her cart, and she had such good stuff in her cart, and I'm like, you have not been here that much longer than me. Like how are you finding all of this stuff before I am? But I just kept on like walking around, because like, I don't know, you know how like with different places like that, when things are kind of all discombobulated and they're sort of everywhere, you really do have to kind of take your time, go around more than once, see what you can see, and She put like half of the stuff in her cart back, and that stuff went right into my cart. So, you know, patience is a virtue, right? You just gotta have a little patience when you're thrifting. Patience and slight stalking abilities. It's like I didn't stalk her. I just noticed that like the stuff that I've been eyeballing in her cart suddenly were on my Goodwill shelves. I'm trying to think, what else, Lindsay, what else is near that, that flea market? Because I think I know which one you're talking, is it like is it called Laurel Station or something? I almost knocked over that paint. That would have been bad. That would have been scary. Man, I keep touching this in places where it's still wet, and then my fingers are like pulling off the paint. Oh, guys. I knew there was something I wanted to tell you guys earlier. Do you know what Drew did today? So we were getting ready to leave to go to get pizza, and Steve was about ready to come upstairs to brush his teeth, and he was like, oh, Drew, what did you do? And I'm like, oh no, this is bad. There's this red stuff all over one. Luckily, it was really just like one step of the, yeah, the evidence is gone from my hands now. One step of the stairs. We didn't know what it was. We didn't know if it was paint, if it was lipstick. We could not find any trace anywhere downstairs of what this stuff was. And the door to my craft room was closed, which I had not closed it. I knew Drew closed it. And he's kind of weird sometimes, like he really wants doors to be closed. So it could have been that, or it also could have been, I'm going to hide this because I don't want my mom to see what I did. So I opened the door, and I'm like expecting to see like red handprints all over the side of like the white wall. Luckily it wasn't. I didn't see anything out of place. I didn't see anything open. So Steve's like showing me this clump of red that was on the step, and I'm like, it looks like chalk paste, but where did he get a chalk paste from? Like, he didn't get anything from upstairs. And we were both saying, I had a blue one and a red one on the kitchen counter from something that I'd done, and I hadn't put them away yet. And I was like, but they were on the counter. Like, he can't reach the counter. So we're trying to figure out, I'm like looking everywhere, like in different places where I've seen him like stash stuff before, trying to see if I can see anything, any evidence to give us any kind of idea of what this red stuff is. And it did end up being chalk paste. We were about ready to leave, and Steve goes, I found it. He took them from the counter and brought them into Steve's office, and they were on Steve's desk. The red one was open, and you could see like where he dug his hands in, because by the time we'd finished cleaning up Drew and cleaning up the stairs, like all three of us had like red stained hands. Like our hands were just red. So anyway, chalk paste is washable, and it did come up, I do have to say. So Steve used he used like carpet spray. I think first he used baby wipes, because those things take out everything. And then he used like carpet spray, and then he used, we had like a carpet cleaner. And he used that as the final thing. And I mean, unless you looked for it, there's a little spot where it's still kind of pink from like it fading out or whatever. But unless you were looking for it, you wouldn't be able to tell it was there. And it was bad at first. It was like he had like scraped his little hands in the jar and just like wiped them to get his hands clean on the stair. The steps are carpet, by the way, in case if you don't realize. Light tan carpet. So I mean, it was Audrey, it didn't take as long as I thought that it would. Steve kind of jumped on it pretty quickly to like get it out. And I mean, other than it staining our hands, which I mean, that was earlier tonight. That was at like 6:30. I mean, they're gone. We went swimming in the pool afterwards, so I think that kind of got it off, I guess. But it was a little bit of something, because we kept on asking him. We're like, Drew, where'd you put the red stuff? Where is this stuff? And he would just be like talking, and he'd like walk someplace like he was really gonna show us, and then like nothing's there. I do have to say though, he kept on pointing at the vacuum cleaner that's in the office, and I was like, yeah, but it's not in here, buddy. You don't have anything in here. And that did turn out to be where he had it. So, fool on me. I did not get that. But man, it's a little bit of a heart attack when you see something red on something like that. But it all ended up being good. But, whew, it was a moment for sure. It was a puzzling moment. That was the thing, because we really honestly did not know what it was. And Steve kept on saying, he's like, are you sure it's not lipstick? And I was like, anything that I've got with lipstick in here is in my purse, and it like hangs on the wall in our kitchen. And I was like, it's still up there, like he can't get to it. There was no stool or anything nearby, so I'm like, plus I don't think that I've got like a bright red lipstick like that, because if you've been around, you know what he's done with my lipsticks before. But I mean, it cleaned up pretty good, unlike the lipsticks not so much. He didn't taunt us this time, you guys. He didn't taunt us. Oh, that's forever going to be one of those stories that he's never going to outlive. So the one downside of the acrylic versus the chalk. Where did I miss it? Where is it, Esme? Which side? Oh, under there. I also haven't gotten down here, but that bar. Good eye. Hey, Mama. Was your little ears burning as I talked about your grandson and his little misadventure today? I think I might have just pulled some of it up again. In the corner under the handle. Oh, I just marked a part off. So the acrylic, even though I did have to put a lot more layers on, it did dry a lot faster than the chalk paint, but the chalk paint still dries fairly quickly. Alright, I need to stop touching it and then go back and get the spots that I missed, because my fingers keep touching the paint and it's not completely dry and it pulls it off. I gotta be patient. I'm not good at that. That is why my hair dryer is plugged in down here, because I am not patient and I was drying stuff to make it dry faster earlier. Alright, I think I got the part in the corner, Esme. I think I got everything under the handle, but I need to wait until it dries so I can flip it and look. But I think I already washed that. It's wet, so I think that I did. All right. I'm thinking, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. Keep working on... I'm going to let this dry. I might come back to it later tonight. I might not. I'm not sure. I don't know if when I get a battery alert, if that... does it pause the video? I'm not sure if it does. It looked like it kept going. I'm not sure. But I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one quits for the night. Tomorrow's a day where I have to get up semi-early, and it has not failed the last few weeks. Like on Monday night, I can't go to sleep. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if I can get myself chilled down to go to the bed. But I think I'm gonna pause on this. I might end up working on this arrangement one a little bit, because I want to paint a pumpkin, because all of my pumpkins are like bright orange, not super like flattering colors. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and paint that and get it looking kind of cute so I can start putting it in here. But it looks like the ink is still slightly wet, but overall it's pretty good. So thank you guys for tuning in. I will share a photo later. Oh, if you are local and interested in doing the bring your own cup thing, that is on Wednesday. I'm thinking I'm also going to open it up for when I have the event at my house later in the month too. That's on a Saturday. I can't remember what the actual date is. And what else was I going to say? There's something else. Give my head a second here. Oh, the Maker Monday post is up too. So if there's anything that you guys have been working on through the week, or worked on lately that you wanted to share, give yourself a pat on the back for, please post it in the comments there so we can all kind of inspire each other. Lindsay, if you've gotten any wedding stuff, please post those on those posts all the time so that I can keep track of all the stuff that you're doing, because I want to see. Because you know that your colors are like my faves and I need to see all the beautiful things that you're making. Oh, all right, guys, that is it. I will chat with you later. Bye.